let's say that, I'm a company that now wants to migrate, right? Like, what would be your biggest advice? Like, I don't know, like 100 engineers, 10 people in the ops, we are using like EC2, bare metal, whatever. So what would be like your advice? What is the expected timeline? What is like the biggest pitfall? Question. Right?
It sounds a bit like a sales pitch, which is, I did that quite a lot. I think it's very important to pause for a moment and actually do a bit of strategy. Like, you cannot replace just a bit of thinking with a whiteboard in the beginning of the project, right? So it's very important to understand what is available in the landscape, right? There are certain tools or products or projects that shouldn't move anywhere. There are all kinds of reasons to move to the cloud. You need to understand the business reasons and connect them to technology. Because Kubernetes is difficult, right? It requires extra education. Most of the people in your organization probably won't understand how it works, or will not have the expertise or experience to actually maintain it. So there is some sort of educational journey. There is some categorization of applications, because the landscape is typically very complex, and we like talking about homogeneous applications that you sort of just move over. But it is never like that, right? There's probably about 100 applications. Some of them a bit more modern, so it's not like they're all in Java, right? Some of them in COBOL, still plenty of those. All kind of like PHP and Java and all kind of weird, and then you have some Go piece, and you're like, okay, let's stick that Go piece on Kubernetes. Okay, amazing. So now you have a tiny application that brings €100 a month, right? And now you spend 2 million to create entire infrastructure, but you cannot use it for anything else because everything else is COBOL, right? Now, are you going to rewrite everything? Now, if you rewrite everything, then that's typically ends badly. Right? So, you see, there's like, you actually need to understand the current landscape, the business goals, the applications, are they changing often or not? Is there a scale? Is there a need for scale? Because it's much more, in many cases, it's much more reasonable to just keep them as they are. And if you have some new application, old application that doesn't change at all, maybe twice a year, and it's written in COBOL, then it's not about repackaging it and putting in Kubernetes. It's about creating some sort of roadmap of value creation in new modern languages, on new infrastructure, and gradually rebuilding the functionality in the new area, rather than full rewrite for whatever reason. Because it's old and outdated, right? So there is no simple answer, actually, what needs to happen. But on average, a transformation of 100 developers company to fully cloud-native setup is a multi-year project. So it's like if you're effective, you can get to production within 6 months, typically, with a tiny piece of functionality. You typically can have meaningful setup in the cloud on cloud native within a year, and you can get fully cloud native within 2 to 3 years.